Hey guys, welcome to this arcade review hell, where I explore the oldest and craziest titles ever created. Get ready, because some of these gaming machines seem like they were just made to drive you crazy. Ready to throw your money into the jaws of chaos? Let's get started.
Imagine two pixelated cowboys shooting like they're in a slow-motion battle. This is Gunfight. Yes, it's the first game to let you shoot at your friend, but the collision system is sickening. Bullets that seem to float in the air like snails. Brilliant, right? Bonus points for the idea, but its slowness makes you wish you had a revolver in real life to shoot at the car. A piece of history, but damn, what a pain.
This is one of those shitty Snake games, but with 4 players, and it's just as stressful. In Barricade, your car creates a barrier, and if you mess up you crash into your own ass. Brilliant. The problem is, it's more as frustrating as it sounds, and after 3 minutes you want to throw the cabinet off a bridge. If they wanted a game that destroys friendships, they succeeded.
In Bigfoot Bonkers we are faced with, wait, what the hell is this? A snake clone with giant dirty feet? No, really, I didn't understand this either. What went through the developers' heads to develop such rubbish? Do you want advice? Go hunt vipers in a garden, at least breathe some fresh air.
In Seawolf, you're a goddamn submarine captain shooting ships that pass by the screen. Sounds good, right? Nah, not really. The game gives you a tiny window to shoot from, and if you miss, well, good luck. Timing is everything, but the game is as slow as cooking a turkey. Nice idea, but after a while, it feels like you're in a submarine destined to crash to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, yeah, Breakout. Pong meets brick walls. You're a ball and you have to destroy all the blocks. Sounds cool, right? Sure, until you realize the controls are slipperier than a wet bar of soap. Move your ball and hope not to make mistakes, because God knows precision is optional. It's fun for about 10 minutes, then your arm gives out and your patience goes to hell.
This is called 280 Zap, but it should be called 280 ZZZZZ because it puts you to sleep. A racing game that makes you drive some kind of light sliver against the clock. There's no music, just the repetitive sound of the engine that makes you want to escape the arcade. Visually it looks like you're running into a broken old TV screen. Do yourself a favor and run in the opposite direction.
Look, Amazing Maze is one of those games that seems fun at first, but then you realize you're literally just trying to get out of a random maze with control that sucks. You move at a snail's pace, and every mistake it's costing you precious minutes of your life. It's like they said, hey, you know what's missing from arcade games? Endless mazes and no thrills. No thank you.
Night Driver, or as I like to call it, Nightmare Driver. A racing game where you're practically blind because the entire screen is dark and you only see reflective poles. You have to imagine the car because you can't even see it. Wow, what a fun, trying not to crash in a lights-out race. Interesting idea, but the execution makes you wish for a headlight.
Circus. A game where you bounce a clown on a platform to make him jump and break balloons. Yes, exactly as it sounds, and just as annoying. The control is so imprecise that the poor clown ends up crashed to the ground more often than in the air. Fun at first, but then it becomes a real horror show.
Star Cruiser, nothing but Star Cruise, it's like a school trip to nowhere. You shoot spaceships in 3D, or so they say. The action is slow, the controls are rigid, and the only thing that shines are your money going away. If this is the future of space travel, I'd rather stay on Earth.
Boot Hill is Gunfight version 2.0, but even slower and dumber. You're a cowboy shooting his opponent over a hill, while trying not to fall asleep. The graphics are improved, but the gameplay is as boring as watching paint dry. If you're a fan of slow Western duels, you might like this. Otherwise, leave it alone.
In Guided Missile, you control a missile that has to hit moving targets. Wow, that sounds fun, but here's the problem, the controls suck. It's like you're trying to guide a missile while drunk. Accuracy is non-existent and leaves you with feeling like you could spend your time better, like watching paint dry.
Here's Robot Bowl, the game that takes bowling and makes it more boring than I thought possible. Here you're not even a human, you're a damn robot throwing a ball at a set of pins. The physics are barely realistic, and the worst thing? No change. The only thing that will keep you going is the desire to see the score, and even that is depressing.
Desert Gun puts you in the role of a sniper in the desert, but I swear it feels like shooting rubber bullets. It's a classic shooting game, but with flat graphics and poorly responding controls. Do you hit enemies? Maybe. Have fun? Absolutely not. Do you feel like you're wasting your time? Exactly. It's like a boring day at a shooting fair, and your only win is when you run out of tokens.
Do you like shooting stuff? Then M79 Ambush might sound like fun, but guess what? It's not. The idea is to fire rockets at moving targets, but the problem is that the entire targeting system, it looks like it was designed by someone who's never used a damn weapon in their life. When you finally hit something, there's not even a satisfaction to be had. This game is supposed to ambush you with fun, but all you get is frustration.
Starship One promises adventures in space, but what it gives you is the desire to abandon your ship and swim in the cosmic void. You're in a spaceship shooting at other ships, but the controls are so crap that you'll spend more time trying to figure out what you're doing rather than enjoying the game. The graphics look like a cereal box label, and the sound will make you want to turn everything off. Avoid this space mission at all costs.
Laguna Racer is another arcade racing game, but it seems like the programmer decided to make things as boring as possible. Drive a car in an endless race against nothing interesting. There are no rivals, no there are exciting obstacles, just the road and your desire to get to the end without falling asleep. It seems like the most exciting thing is the lighted sign on the car telling you, stop, and I would say stop this game.
Superbug puts you behind the wheel of a small car racing around an obstacle course, and I promise, it's harder than driving a tricycle on a rocky road. The controls are so slippery that you feel constantly out of control, and not in a fun way. There are racing games that make you feel like a real racer, and then there's Superbug, which makes you feel like you're playing with a bug that can't stand up.
Space Wars is one of those space games that tries to be epic, but fails miserably. You're in a ship that has to shoot at other ships, but the mechanics are so clunky that you find yourself wandering aimlessly through space more often than doing wars. The graphics are a jumble of dots and lines, and the gameplay is so frustrating that it makes you want to leave the arcade and go see a real space movie.
Canyon Bomber puts you in a situation where the only purpose is to blow stuff up. Sounds good, right? Wrong. You have to drop bombs in a canyon full of bricks, and if you miss even a little, the bomb goes to waste. It's a slow and boring game, and after the first 5 minutes, you realize that you are simply watching bombs fall without any real purpose. More than a bombing, it feels like a monotonous meditation session.
F4 is a tank game where you shoot everything that moves, but I'll tell you what, they should have called it ME. You're in a tank that moves like a lame sloth and tries to take down targets just as slow. The controls are as stiff as an old handlebar, and the graphics are bare bones. If you're a fan of war games, there are better titles. This is just a boring exercise in patience.
Racing fans, prepare to be disappointed. Sprint 4 is a 4-player race where you control cars that look like they were designed by a 5-year-old. The graphics are minimal, the sound is almost non-existent, and the controls are so sensitive that you'll end up crashing every time you turn the steering wheel half a millimeter. It's the kind of game that makes you want to unplug, literally. Here, guys, is the other bunch of arcade games that seem designed to make you hate the past. Some of these titles are legendary, for the wrong reasons. See you next time, and let's hope for better games. Bye.